You ever seen those slatternly women who are just awful? What do I mean by slatternly women? I'm talking about those women who dress up provocatively, wear too much makeup, their hair is all fixed up and dyed sometimes blonde, and well, most of the time it's blonde, right? Even if it doesn't really fit with them at all, right? These slatternly women, look up the word slatternly. It's basically women who come across like prostitutes. Yeah, they come across with this look, the clothes, the makeup, the hair, and you're like, they're sexy, kind of. But they're kind of awful, and worse than that, they treat you just awfully. Yeah, you want to stay the hell away from slatternly women. Absolutely. Because slatternly women, see, what's going on with them is that they view themselves, they think that they are only interesting to other people by way of their sex appeal. They think that they are only interesting to other men by way of their sex appeal. They don't try to develop any other aspect of themselves. They think that their looks, the superficiality of their appearance is all that matters. And because of it, of course, see, they are these walking advertisements for sex appeal. It's like neon arrows pointed at them because of their clothes and their makeup and their hair. Just like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me as a sexual object. Don't look at me as a person. Look at me as something that you can fuck. Yeah, because they're looking for attention from men, sexual attention from men. And so, of course, if they spark the sexual interest of a man that they're not interested in because of superficial qualities of his own, maybe he doesn't have the right look or whatever, or the right clothes, then they treat that guy like shit. They are just awful. They are awful, and they're just like, just awful. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, how many times have you come across some woman who just looks all sexy and glammed up and all the rest of it, these slatternly women, and you say hi to them and they're like, ew, get away from me. And they're like, ugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, these slatternly women, since they're turning on the sex appeal 24/7, whenever they get the sexual attention, rather, of a guy that they're not particularly interested in, they reject him in a way that's really grotesque. Unlike, for instance, women who are truly attractive, naturally attractive, without any kind of hair, makeup, or clothes. They're just sexy. And when somebody that they are not particularly interested in, sexually speaking, comes up to them and talks to them, they're incredibly polite and kind. Yeah, because they're just like that naturally. Yeah? They're not trying to be sexy. They're not trying to be slatternly. And so because of it, they treat people who come across their path just perfectly normally. You know, if you're kind to them and nice to them, they'll be nice to you. But these glammed up women, no. See, because they only care about the attention of the men that they consider hot. And they will violently reject anyone who is not to their standards. And of course, what happens with these women is that, see, since their focus is on appearing sexually attractive, nobody can take them seriously in any other way. For everybody, men and women, the only reason that they are particularly interesting is because they're sexy, quote unquote. Yeah? And so nobody takes anything that they say seriously. They could say something incredibly profound. I mean, they could be as profound as the Dalai Lama, for crying out loud. But, you know, all glammed up and looking like that, nobody's going to take them seriously. Nobody's going to take them seriously, and they resent this. They resent this to their core. And yet they can't get out of this trap because they are convinced with every fiber of their being that the only reason people are interested in them is because of their sex appeal. And they resent people because they are interested in their sex appeal. Yes, they do have a couple of screws loose. What can I say? So what you have to understand with slatternly women is that they are, catch and release. Yeah, catch and release. I mean, if you come across one of these slatternly women, one of these women who glam themselves up and put themselves out there as a sexual object and not as a human being, yeah, fuck them, but then dump them. Yeah, there's no reason to have any kind of relationship with them. Because also, what's going to happen is that these slatternly women, once your sexual attention on them begins to wane, once they are no longer getting that rush of sexual attention from you, because you've been with her for a while, right? what's going to happen is that she's going to start to look around at other men, because since you're not going to be giving her that sexual attention anymore, because it's natural, you're with somebody and you can't be, you can't have a hard-on for that girl 24/7. You got to relax sometime, right? And just have dinner and watch TV, right? But the girl who needs this sexual attention for her ego, for her sense of self, eventually your lust, your sexual interest will naturally decline, decay. And because of that, she will feel this lack. And so she will start looking around at other men. And she'll eventually cheat on you. Yeah, that happens all the time. It's inevitable. For the most part, of course there are exceptions, but for the most part, it's inevitable. That's why they're catch and release. That's why you have a good time, long weekend maybe a couple of weeks, but after that, done. You move on. You move on to somebody who's not fucked up this way, because ultimately these slatternly girls, these girls who only care about their appearance but express it sexually. It's not that they are women who care about their appearance in the sense of wanting to look good, because there are some women, lots of women, who like to look good as often as they can, but it's very different because they want to look good but not present themselves as a sexual object. That's the point I'm trying to make here. See, slatternly women present themselves solely as a sexual object. I dated this girl way back in the 90s, in the late 90s in New York, and she was a lawyer, and she was very concerned about her appearance, but the kind of appearance she wanted to project was of seriousness. And she was concerned about the clothes and the makeup and the hair as well, but it was very different. She wanted people to think she's smart, she's got her shit together. And more to the point, of course, come the weekend, she'd take off all that crap, because she wasn't in a work environment. That's very different. You see the distinction I'm making here, okay? Slatternly women are only interested in projecting a sexual image. We are all, to a greater or lesser extent, interested in projecting a certain image to our potential audiences, because, like Bill Shakespeare said, all the world's a stage, right? And so you're walking around with your clothes and your haircut and the way you present yourself, trying to project out into the world a certain image that you want so that people can approach you in a certain way. But see, slatternly women only view their image as a sexual image. See, that's the distinction you have to make with other women who are concerned about their appearance. Because other women who are concerned about their appearance, they are projecting it for different reasons, and perfectly valid and innocent and normal reasons, see? But the slatternly woman is basically fucked up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're interested in my content, go check out the GL channel or my Patreon channel. Links are in the description below. On the Patreon channel, I release exclusive videos every week. I've got over 90 of these exclusive videos on my Patreon channel. And I also do a Sunday broadcast. It's like a call-in show, a webinar, where I talk about a particular subject and I take on calls. And it's a lot of fun. So if you're interested in that, check out the links in the description below, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.